and welcome to a brand new episode of the Woolly Thistle Shopcast. I'm your host Corinne, and with my trusty co-host and good friend Maggie. We're back today, and it's great to be here. It's been a couple of weeks since we last talked. It's also Monday morning. We always record on Monday mornings, and we were open at the weekend, and you can see that we're a little empty on some things, so we haven't had a chance to restock.
It's like the knitters pointing out the flaws in our knits. Like there's the flaws in our back.
My underskirt's hanging down. Yeah, so but we will get to that. But yeah, so oh my goodness, Maggie, it already feels chaotic in my head.
Yeah.
There's a lot to talk about.
Monday.
But let's begin by doing what you always remind me to do, and I always forget, which is introduce what the heck we're all about, in case you're new here. The Woolly Thistle is an online yarn shop, but now we have our own brick and mortar, which we're recording in today, and we love it. I'll just make a plug for Gudrun Johnston, who's coming on Friday. Nope,
Saturday.
So the day after this goes live, we'll be open 10 to 2, I think. We'll put the hours up there.
Yep.
But Gudrun's coming for a visit with her trunk show, and she'll be doing a steeking demonstration and having a meet and greet, and we're really excited because she's a good friend of the shop.
Yeah.
So that's who we are. We specialize in non-superwash.
I will say, in case you're watching this in the future, Gudrun will be here November 9th.
Thank you. This is why it takes two of us to do this job. I was about to say something. We specialize in non-superwash yarns, championing yarns from the UK and Europe especially, but we love homegrown American yarns too. And yeah, we have some of the best yarns out there, don't we? We love what we've got. Okay, so a little bit of housekeeping before we get rolling. We have a PIPS program, which is points in progress. That's our loyalty program, and when you shop with us, you earn PIPS and you can use them on future purchases. So be sure to be signed up. It's very easy to get on that, and once you're signed up, it's automatic. Send us your videos if you'd like a spotlight on the episode. We occasionally have videos from lovely thistlers out there who want to show the world what they're knitting, and we love to champion you here on the show. You can find out how to do that on the website at the Connect, I think it's Connect still.
I think so.
And you'll find that there's a contribution form that you can fill in and send, and then we'll get you on the show. So do that. We love to have you on the show. Free shipping in the US for orders over $99 or just $4.95 otherwise. And be sure to check our show notes down below. If there's something that we're talking about that you like, there'll be links below. We try and have everything down there for you. And Maggie, this segment is full. We have 3 contributions. We've got Renee, who is a wonderful member of our team, and she lives in Ohio. And so she'll be with us. And we've got Caitlin, of course, who is wonderful. And then we've got a postcard from Fair Isle, from Rachel up there in Fair Isle. So that's really good. Maggie, do you want to tell us what you're wearing?
I would love to tell you what I'm wearing. I am wearing my Paul Klee sweater that I knit with Jamieson and Smith for the body. It's color 54.
Was that a cone?
This was on a cone, and the yoke is a mixture of Jamieson and Smith 2-ply jumper weight and Jamieson's of Shetland.
Perfect.
Spindrift.
And it's absolutely beautiful. It's like a stained glass window.
Yeah, I'm really happy with how the colors came out.
Yeah.
And it's a Midori Hirose pattern, and it's just really, really nice.
Yeah.
So the fit is really good.
Yeah. It looks lovely. And
yeah.
You loved it so much you knit it twice.
I did. I thought I'd messed up on the yoke. My tension was a little tight, so I ended up knitting what turned out to be the exact same size.
Forgot that.
But it's a little bit more snug, but it fits my youngest daughter because of gauge.
Yeah.
Yes, not because of.
Yeah. Which is fascinating, right? It's, you know,
yeah.
And your daughter
and
has
it
that.
doesn't look puckery at all either. It's just the gauge is just a little tighter.
Yeah.
So with this one, I went up a needle size, actually maybe 2 needle sizes on the yoke.
Right.
Which I hadn't found I had to do before.
Yeah.
But I did with this one, and I'm very happy with the results.
Yeah.
As Corinne said, I did knit from a cone. This is not the color I used, but there's been lots of discussion about knitting from a cone in our Facebook group. And some people have decided they like to wind it off. I know Emma has talked about that sometimes if she's traveling and doesn't want to bring the whole cone, she'll wind some of it off. There's been discussion about do you need to wash it before you knit with it? No. You don't, especially if you do a gauge swatch, it'll look thinner. Sometimes it'll look a little bit thinner on your needles, but that's just because it has the spinning oil left in it. But it will bloom when washed to a gauge that you get with the regular 2-ply.
Yeah. And it doesn't feel that different knitting with it than a ball of the same thing. I really like knitting direct from the cone though, because when you pull on it, it just unwinds itself and comes up and it stays put and all of that.
Yeah, I do find now, so this is color 54 and my cone of 54 has very little left on it at this point. I think I could still knit a hat with it for sure.
Yeah.
But I've knit 2 sweaters with it and something else. And there's still yardage on the cone, so now the cone's like bouncing all around.
Well,
like, it no longer has that weight,
fair enough.
I stick it in a bag and it's fine.
Yeah.
It's not enough for me to feel like I have to wind it off and ball it. That's not gonna happen.
No, I would just throw the cone right in my big bag anyway.
Right,
but you know, do what works for you for sure. But I don't think that's necessary.
Yeah. So if it brings you joy to pre-wash it, go ahead, ball it up or put it in smaller quantities, but it's not necessary.
You could even just test it by winding off a little bit, putting that in water and seeing the difference before, to help you make a decision.
Although if you have any J&S on a ball,
that's what it's going to be like.
That's the difference. That's exactly what it's going to be like. That is the same yarn. It's just been balled and washed and all of that. So you'll get the same gauge.
The spinning oil from the machines, it's not dirty. It's not like, you have to wash it for it to be clean to knit with it. It is purely just a translucent type.
Yeah, like it doesn't make your hands dirty or anything like that.
No, it's just purely that sort of grease to help it get through the machine that mills will use. So I love knitting from a cone of JNS personally. I did the same thing. I can't remember what else I knit, but I know my hap was knit with it and something else and something else and something else.
I've knit a few things. The Fair Isle sweater I'm knitting now, I'm using a cone of 81 and I'm not pre-balling it or washing it, or it's just coming right off the cone into the knit. And it's lovely.
Yeah. Well, shall we talk about what I'm wearing?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm wearing my Dunrobin. It's cold outside, and so I wanted to put on something a little bit heavier. This is in Lettlopi, and this is my design, and it's got the drop shoulder with the detail on the sleeve. It's a 3-needle bind off, but with it happening in full view instead of being tucked underneath. And this is really comfortable. It's knitted a nice, generous gauge, so it's a fast knit. And it drapes. I love drapey sweaters as much as I love color work that's all sort of figure hugging too. That's what I'm wearing today. I was going to wear my purple one, but then realized it was on a model here, so I had to, change it up. And I'm glad I'm wearing this actually. It's nice and sort of light feeling. And it's the first time I've worn Lopi this turning of the season.
Yeah, I'm not sure it's Lopi weather for me yet, but...
Oh, I have seen this throughout the summer and early fall and been like, not yet. And today, those thoughts were not there.
Yeah.
Because it is cold. It's like 30 degrees out, which feels cold to us now. Although tomorrow it says it's going to be 70, so go figure. Are you knitting on anything right now, Maggie?
I am. I'm knitting on some gifts. So I think maybe, should I show them later when we talk about the gift knitting?
We can, do you want to do that then?
Yeah.
All right, that sounds good. It's not like we don't have stuff to talk about, Maggie.
Yeah, there's plenty to talk about.
Yes, there is. So Stephanie from a recent Shopcast, a lovely contributor, just like we were talking about earlier. She celebrated her wedding and she wore her Synchestra cardigan by Skeindeer, which was knit up in Rauma Finullgarn for her wedding day. And we have photos and she looks beautiful. The couple look very happy, which is just wonderful. So thank you for sending that along, Stephanie. It was really nice to get your update and congratulations on your nuptials.
Yay!
And we just finished sending out all the prizes from our sweater cal, and we had such great participation from designers and yarn makers and everybody. We had 85 prizes.
That's amazing.
To give out. So hopefully you won a prize, because there was certainly plenty of them. And just thank you to our lovely prize donors. What a great time. It was a good cal.
I will say, if you didn't win a prize, but you finished your sweater or you were close to it, that is your prize.
Or you enjoyed knitting it, or you enjoyed the community in our Facebook group, that all is winner worthy too, for sure. We already mentioned that Gudrun's coming to the shop, but she will be here on November 9th, which is a Saturday. We're opening up for that. And we'll have a trunk show, although she calls it a now forgotten again.
A roadshow?
Roadshow. It's like a roadshow.
Yeah.
She'll be hitting up the Woolly Thistle on her roadshow with all her lovely knits in Jamieson Spindrift. I can't wait to see that. And she'll be doing a live steeking demo, which is fun. So if you've never actually seen steeking happen, let's watch Gudrun together. And we hope you can come by, but we will be filming as much as we can for those of you who are not in the area. But if you're in the area, please come and say hi. We'd love to see you. Voices Over the Water is a very special project. We were contacted by the producers of this program. It's a 2-hour film on PBS about the Scottish diaspora and all that history and everything. So if you are a Scotophile, this is a show you'll want to watch. And right at the beginning, you will see that it's sponsored by the Woolly Thistle, which made me feel like very grown up. We're on public television, sponsoring a show. And New Hampshire is going to be having its first airing on New Hampshire Public Television. That's going to be on November 21st at 9:30 p.m. prime time. It's wonderful. And I think you can already watch it online as well, because it has been all around public television. But yeah, hopefully you can see the Woolly Thistle's little sponsor program, or sponsor little segment at the beginning. I have yet to hear the voicing. This show is sponsored by...
Oh, I literally went online just to watch that.
Did you?
I did.
Is it the voice? Is it the guy?
It's so good. It's so good.
Oh my goodness. So I can't wait. I've been waiting for it to come to New Hampshire to watch it. I've been sort of stealing myself. So you saw
No, I saw it online. I went and looked online and I was like, I want to see this.
That is awesome. I can't wait. Ooh,
that's one of those things that never, you just don't
imagine.
See, but delighted that they reached out and that we were able to make it work. And
because Jane, one of the producers, is a knitter, and we actually saw her at Rhinebeck as well, which was great.
She's wonderful. She is, for anybody who's been to some of our Zooms, she's the one who inspired me to knit my donkey.
That's how that all starts.
It is. Oh, you see an animal and then you're like, I gotta knit that.
I gotta knit that. So very exciting, very grown up, and yes, we have arrived, I think.
Yeah, and just really, I'm proud that we could.
That we could do it.
Their program
for sure. We hit 10,000 members in Ravelry, which is amazing. Amazing. I happened to see one of our videos, I think before you were on the show. It popped up in my YouTube, and it was from 4 years ago. And I think we were at around 3,000 members back then.
Wow.
So it's taken us a fair few years, but look at us, or look at all of us, we're at 10,000 in Ravelry now. And I think
it's a very active group.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
It's not like I'm sure not everybody is active, but it is a really active and welcoming group. So if Ravelry is your happy place for patterns and chatting,
and be
sure to check out our group.
For sure. And then on Instagram, we clicked over 40,000, which blows my mind. Yeah, these are big numbers. So thank you for following us and being in the places. That makes all the difference, and we appreciate that. Gift make along. Sign-ups are open, so people are signing up, and that's fantastic. Keep signing up. There's no start or end date. This is sort of a very loosey-goosey, just to help us all get that gift knitting done that we want to do. I haven't actually started mine yet because I've just had too much going on, and I'm already slightly resistant to the idea, which is of Nana the Duck for my daughter, but I do want to do it.
Well, I'm really excited that you're going to knit Nana Duck.
I know. I've got the yarn, I've got the eyes, I've got the needles. I'm lacking the will, but I'll get there. I want to do it for her, but I'm just,
You'll get there.
I will get there. And then other news is that the Woolly Thistle is going to Scotland in May of next year. This is now fully booked, which is phenomenal and unexpected. I did not think it would sell out so quickly. And this is done in partnership with Mary Jean of Battenkill Fibre Mill. She is also Battenkill Textile Tours. And we already make yarn together, so we might as well travel together, is how I see it. And thank you if you have signed up already. If you haven't and you'd be interested in a future trip, which I have no idea whether we'll do or not, but if you show interest in it, then that helps tip the scales one way or another. And just reach out to Battenkill Textile Tours. You can go to their website. We'll put the address here. And let Mary Jean know that you'd like to go on a waiting list or some sort of list that she has. She's organizing everything. I'm just getting to go to Scotland with a bunch of friends, which sounds really, really, really fun. So I'm looking forward to that. Yeah, so I've been blethering a lot this morning.
Yeah.
Should we go to a segment and let Renee take us from
Sure,
here?
and then when we get back from Renee, because Renee's showing a lot of fun stuff, but I'll show my gift knits when we get back.
Okay, all right, sounds good. So we'll see you on the other side.
Hello, Thistlers. I'm Renee Allen. I'm one of the email specialists here at the Woolly Thistle. You probably remember me from seeing me in Shetland, so I'm back now. I'm working again. I did get to go to Rhinebeck with my team and got to meet a lot of Thistlers there, so that was a lot of fun. If you were part of that, I'm so glad I got to meet you. And if you're not, I hopefully am meeting you in our Facebook group because it is a lot of fun. So today I am wearing some yarn, a sweater that I made from some yarn in Shetland. And this is called the wearing cardigan. I misspoke the last time that I talked about it. I called it the drawing cardigan for some reason, but it is from the book Langsoond by Donna Smith. And I'm missing my buttons. I haven't found the right buttons for it yet. I'm looking for some wooden buttons. I think I just want to match the brown to brown, so I haven't found that yet. But it's from this book, Langsoond, and this was her DK weight. She has since come out with a 4-ply fingering weight, but this is just delightful. I actually started it when I was in Shetland, and I have some of the yarn just left here, but this is what it looks like. The directions, the pattern calls for just knitting flat back and forth, and one of my Swedish friends, Katarina, she said I could easily add some steek stitches, and I've steeked before, but I've never added them and changed a pattern. So one of the things that she taught me was to I added 7 stitches, and then 3 were purl, then I knit 1, and then I had 3 pearls again. So when I did go to steek, it was so easy to see that knit line right up the middle there, and it was easy to see with this dark yarn. So thank you, Katarina. But again, this was the first time that I ever did that. I did have to be careful where she was telling me to to count going back and forth, and just to make sure there's I don't know if you can see it here, but there's like a little ridge here. So I had to make sure that I still got the purls and the knit stitches right, because sometimes there's a little design right here in the raglan. A beautiful pattern, a beautiful book. I did happen to have some of her Langsoond from one of our selection boxes in the past, one of the Woolly Thistle selection boxes, and there's a hat in there, there's some fingerless mitts in there, so I'll probably use this for one of those patterns, but it's delightful. I believe we used to sell the book at the Woolly Thistle, and I believe it's a digital pattern now, an ebook that you can get on Ravelry. It's hot here in Ohio, so I'm going to take my beautiful sweater off. So we are in the middle of our gift make-along, so I kind of wanted to show you what I've been working on. The first thing I started was the Musselburgh hat, and this is just a delightful pattern. So if you've not got on the Musselburgh train, I highly recommend, because it will work with fingering weight yarn, sport weight yarn, DK yarn, and you don't have to have a gauge swatch beforehand. You just knit, measure how many stitches you have per inch once you can get to that point, and then there's a little chart there that she tells you now what to do, how many increases to make, and it's very easy. And then you'll knit a lot of stockinette. But so here's what I was talking about. She has you start in the middle, and there's 3 different ways that you can start in the middle. And then once you get your increases out, here I have 23 inches of stockinette. So I decided to use Exmoor sock yarn. This is for one of my husband's friends, and he doesn't know how to take care of wool. So Exmoor is a sturdy wool. It's hardy. It's good for people wearing it on their feet, and you can wash it. So that's why I'm doing this for him. If I had it to do over again, I would use this double, and I would make it a DK weight, because it's taken me quite a long time to get 23.5 inches of stockinette, but I believe I'm there. So I'm not going to do my decreases just yet. One thing that I wanted to show you about my little Hirose tweed bag, I carry it everywhere. And sometimes I'll go for walks and I can just put my knitting right in there. And that way I can get some sunshine, get some steps in, and I can still knit. So anyway, I love my Hirose tweed bag. Jill and I were like work besties because we love the same things, and we don't even know. We didn't even know each other, but we have that. But anyway, there's a lot of similarities between Jill and I. I have a great team that I get to work with, so I'm very lucky. The next thing that I'm working on for a gift make along, this is a gift for me. So this is called the Rauma pullover, and it's by Synchestra. And I just love her style. I love a good sweatshirt kind of look. It's comfortable. You can wear it anywhere. So that is what I'm making, and I'm making it out of Peace Fleece, which is one of my all-time favorite yarns. And I know I say that a lot, but I truly mean it. It's a rambouillet, so it's soft, it's sturdy. I have made other sweaters with Peace Fleece before. It doesn't pill. That means a lot to me because I want my stuff to be hardy and to last a long time. So this is the front. But you can see she has these beautiful eyelets in the raglan here. And they go all the way down the body. So, and it'll go in the front and the back. Again, I really like that style. Just look at those beautiful flecks, the tweed. This colorway is called the Zara Fog or Zaria Fog. I'm not sure how I pronounce it right, but highly recommend the pattern and the yarn. Love it. Going back to the Donna Smith Langsoond, because I know we don't have it at the Woolly Thistle. I meant to say this, and I'm sorry that I didn't. So what would I compare with to the Woolly Thistle if I was going to make that sweater? The Scottish Yarn Festival is a DK weight, and it has a very similar consistency because this is Shetland wool, and so this is 80% Shetland and 20% Cheviot. So this would be a good, hardy, soft, it's soft to skin yarn that you could use with that as well. That would be very comparable. Another one might not be as soft, but Tukuwool would be another good substitute. Junction Fiber Mills, their Farm Fresh would be another good substitute for that. So, okay. But yes, highly recommend that sweater. I can see I'm going to get a lot of use out of that once it turns warm or cold. I need it to be cold. So the next thing I wanted to talk to you guys about was some of the ways that I've used selection box yarns, because you probably have already got a notification that we've got our new selection box yarns out. We have a variety of, most of the time they're exclusive yarns or new yarns to the Woolly Thistle that you might want to try. So I wanted to show you what I did with some of my other selection box yarns. One year we were able to get some Black Isle yarns in. This is their DK blend, and just another fabulous yarn. One of my favorites. But I was able to buy a couple more skeins of this. So I combined that with Junction Fiber Mills Making Tracks. This is their Xenia. And I made, put my yarn over here. I made the Pressed Flowers shawl by Amy Christophers, or Christophers, I don't know how to say it, but the Savory Knitting. I love this shawl. I wear it all the time. I've had this for a couple of years. So it's a very generous size shawl. You can do all kinds of things with it. But I just think that just pops so well. So that is one thing that you could do. Make a shawl. There's also one skein shawls that you can find in Ravelry. And if you need help with any of that kind of stuff, just reach out to me through Facebook and I'd be glad to help you find some one skein patterns that you can use. Another thing that I have used, one year we got, and I think Tukuwool is going to be in there as well this year. So we got a skein of Tukuwool, their DK blend, and making tracks. I got the Thistle color. So here's the Thistle color. I love just Junction Fiber Mills. They have such great colors and good ideas. And here's the purple. So I combined these two to make this Destination Unknown cow. You may have seen Corinne wearing it. I thought it would be perfect colors for her. And this worked up very fast. This is a mosaic knitting, so you're doing color work. It's a great introduction to color work if you've never done it before, because you're only using one color at a time. You just slip those stitches and it looks like an amazing elaborate pattern, but it's not really. So you can make 2 skeins, well, not even, because I still have a third of each of these skeins left. So I might try to make a little baby one or something like that for my granddaughter. She might like that. Okay, and then another thing that I've made in the past, just for gifts, since we're talking about gifts, I've used the tinsel pattern from Andrea Mowry and made these little tinsel mitts. You can make mittens, you can make fingerless gloves, or you can make one that's a convertible that does them both. So it has lots of options in just one single pattern. And I just use some scrap yarn, and look how beautiful and easy that was to make. One of the last things I want to show you was I also had used some leftovers of my Studio Donegal, the Irish Heathers, for when I made my Dunrobin by Corinne. And I took this and made this, it's called the Looski. It's from this pom-pom book. And I believe it's on Ravelry right now. But it is an excellent hooded I-cord drawstring hat for my husband. He likes to fish in the wintertime. So this is what it looks like. So if you have any errand weight just kind of laying around, it's a great option for a gift. And the last thing that I want to tell you that I'm getting ready to make, I've had this in my queue for a very long time. It's called the Scrap Yarn Basket. And Kelsey had actually shared this a couple years ago. So what I do is I save all my little scraps, leftovers from, I don't want to throw them away because they're beautiful. So I'm going to make some scrap yarn baskets and give them as little gifts for the holidays. So, well, it's been nice being back in town and nice getting back into the rhythm of things, and I hope you have a lovely day.
Well, thank you, Renee. That was lovely. And yes, she was talking about using yarn from her previous boxes, which this little elephant in the room here we haven't mentioned yet, but we are going to show you what's in this year's box, or at least give you a sneaky peek. But she was also talking about this lovely, what is it, a cowl? A cowl kerchief, I don't know. And look at the colors. This is, she used the Thistle colorway from Making Tracks, and this was Tuku, and both of these were in her box one year. And she made this, and I absolutely love it. And it's picking out all the gold. So I think I'll leave this on for now. Yeah. So Maggie, we are going to talk about the gift along, and do you want to show us that stuff right now?
That's primarily what I'm working on right now, is my gift making. It's really, really... It's kind of filling me up right now. This is wonderful. The time of year. So,
you're a much better person than I.
It's nothing to do with what a good or not good person. But so I actually finished these last month. So I actually am on track with my October socks. I finished the bird socks I was knitting for a friend. Those are done. And then I decided to use the WYS Color Lab DK sock yarn.
Nice.
Which is it just flew off the needles.
Yeah, it's like not too many rows in this, is there?
No,
That's
like
phenomenal.
literally I knit the whole pair of socks. It was maybe 5 days.
Oh, wow.
It was like 2.5 days per sock. It
Did
was
you follow
wild.
a pattern?
I did. So I used the sock project book from Summerlee.
Yeah.
She has a DK weight, like a generic DK weight of all sizes. And,
Fantastic. Do we have that in stock, or is that sold out?
I think that we still have some copies in stock of that.
All right, good. Beautiful. And this is, the Westchester DK is really nice.
It is. I haven't washed it yet. I'm going to wait till all the knits are done and then I'll wash and block everything. So these are for my son. I still have enough yarn on that ball, I think, where I can knit either my youngest or myself a pair of socks.
Really?
I
A
weighed the
little tiny
ball.
pair?
My daughter's like, why are you weighing yarn? And I'm like, well, I want to see if I could knit your father a pair. And it's a little short. So I could certainly knit him a pair with like shorter legs. That
or
would
you
totally
could,
work.
could you hold 2 strands of the other yarn double?
I
and
could.
do heels and toes and things? Does this have nylon in it?
I believe it does.
Okay.
We could, there's none over there.
We'll put a confirming.
But I think it does. I think it's an 80-20 or 75-25.
Yeah. And these are probably superwash too, because the signature 4-ply is.
Yeah, which I still feel like for gifts.
For socks and gifts, that's a great way to go.
WYS really is my go-to for gift sock yarn, because it's nice and woolly. I enjoy knitting with it, but it's also easy for the recipient to care for.
Exactly.
If they throw it in the wash, they're not going to ruin
Not
it.
the end of the world. That's right.
So these were done really, really quickly.
Well done. And that brings you brings you back up to speed with your
me back
unofficial...
up to speed with my unofficial pair of socks a month, which was delightful and unexpected.
I have fallen off that a little bit.
That's okay.
It is okay.
Now I have going for my daughter. I showed you a little bit of this last
I thought
week.
this was funny.
That's fine. So I'm using Bichet Bouche's the organic cotton.
Feels good.
Le cotton.
Le cotton.
I'm sorry. And I'm knitting her the Sailor Swift top.
Who designed that?
That is a good question. Who designed that? It is by Veronica Lindberg Kutovakika.
We'll put it in.
Sorry if I said your name wrong, but so I finished the back. I had the back done last time and started the front and joined it, and
I think she's gonna love it.
Just gonna work down the front.
Feels really good.
It does feel really good, and I'm really enjoying the knitting of it. And
so it's a little t-shirt, yes?
It's a little tank top. I believe it'll be finished off with I-cord around the neckline.
Lovely. Love the stripes.
Yeah, I just really, really like it.
Yeah.
I think she's gonna wear it a lot.
Yeah. Happy.
So that'll be, and there's no sleeves. So it's just gonna be like
done and done.
It's practically knitting itself.
I love that feeling.
I know.
Yeah.
So
phenomenal.
So nice to have that.
Yes.
And then I started some socks for me. They're a gift for me.
Yes.
Because you can do that.
You can. Gifting to yourself is actually almost required.
And I feel a little guilty. It's non-TWT yarn. I know.
I know what it is.
Yeah, it's Woolens and Nosh.
It's
Last
so
year at
good.
one of the fiber festivals at Wool and Folk, I sprung for one of Michelle's skeins.
How can we not love this?
That's inspired by, I forget the name of the colorway, but it's inspired by the pom-pom garlands.
Oh, yeah.
Which I just loved.
Yeah.
And so I started that on Friday.
Couldn't stop.
It's a very potato chippy.
Fantastic.
We played some cards this weekend, and between deals, I was like just round and round and round and round.
Awesome.
So
Very
these will
nice.
be my November, and then it's a gift for me. December, I get to wear fun Christmassy socks.
Yeah, we should actually have Wool and Nosh here at the shop.
Yeah, she's
She's
just
a New Hampshire
delightful.
business, and she's lovely, and we've connected with her.
Or I think she's in Vermont, isn't she?
Oh, is she? I thought she was in New Hampshire.
I don't know why I think she's in Vermont, but
You're
I
probably
could be
right.
wrong. One of us is right. She's in this general area.
Yeah.
And she's just delightful.
Yeah.
And
we should see if she wants to be stocked with us.
Okay,
so I don't have knitting to show today because, well, why not?
Yeah.
I haven't finished my vest yet. That just seems to have slowed down a little bit the closer to the end it gets. And I haven't cast on Nana the Duck because my kids were with me all weekend and I just didn't want to have that.
Yeah,
in
well,
front
you
of
don't want to
them.
be doing that too in front of the recipient
Exactly.
if you don't have to.
If I don't have to. And I don't know, I'm just little out of my mojo this weekend. I'm not too worried. It'll come back.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know that there's a couple of sweaters I do want to knit, and if I'm gifting to myself, that's fine, right? So one of them was inspired by Sarah of Fibre Trek, and she was wearing the beautiful, was it Roots and Shoots it's called? And it's knitted in Plodalopi with a strand of mohair. That is getting cast on. But I'm trying to finish my vest first.
Yeah.
And then there's another one that Renee was wearing at Rhinebeck. It's from, I think it's from, it's from...
Knit This?
Nope, it's from Softly. What's her name?
Sorry, Norland.
Yeah, Sari's lovely design, lovely lace. Just very, very beautiful. So I do have inspiration for a couple of sweaters to get
Sometimes
on.
things have to percolate a little.
They do, and I absolutely love percolating anyway. I'm very much am a percolator. I can't, as much as I am a quick start, and let's do this and run in where angels fear to tread, right? There is another part of me that's very sort of, I'm just going to think about this and, get on with other things. And then finally it just comes.
Yeah.
And it's like.
I'm at a point in my knitting too where at home I have started, in my bedroom, I have a little pile of the things I want to knit next. And actually yarns? That's yarns, and that's actually working really well for me. I'm seeing them regularly, so I'm inspired by them. And I'm sort of excited to kind of get to that next thing without feeling like I'm rushing.
Oh, that's good.
And then I get to see like a pile go down a little bit, and then I'll restock it for my stash. So
that's great though. It's sort of percolating with a prompt. You're sort of seeing it there, and it's just all. So that's great. If you guys want to do something like that, you should, because it makes total sense. Yeah. Okay. So Maggie, I think we should go to Caitlin now. And Caitlin has a wonderful segment this time. What is she talking about? I did watch.
Oh, she's wearing a gorgeous sweater. I forget the name of it. It's her Camilla Vad.
Oh, it's
sweater.
Gorgeous.
And she talks about colors and combining colors.
Yes, that's right. I loved it. And she finished a little baby knit, which is very, very cute. So when we finish watching Caitlin, come back, because we're going to be showing you what's in this year's selection box. Hooray!
Hi everybody, it's Caitlin, and I'm so happy to be here for another month on the Shopcast with you all. I just have a few kind of random updates on things that I've been working on these days. So wanted to talk about something I finished, something that I'm working on, and also what I'm wearing, which we can start with. This is something I made last year. It's the Greyrup sweater by Camilla Vad, and it's got color work almost all the way through, except for up here there's a little bit of sort of an echo of the color work in a texture. So this was a really fun project, and there's so many beautiful different versions on Ravelry if you look through the color combinations. I made up my own color combo. I think the original was made in Camilla Vad's own yarn. I think that's maybe not even in production anymore. But it's a DK weight. Mine's actually more close to a worsted weight. The gauge is 20 stitches over 4 inches. So I was thinking a little bit. Mine is some hand spun. The medium purple here is hand spun, and then just an assortment of other yarns that I had in my stash. And I had a couple of yarn ideas, and then also a tip or two. This is, like I said, kind of a DK to worsted weight. So thinking about yarns in the Woolly Thistle shop that you could use to kind of play with your own color combinations. There's, Strickgarn is a great DK weight. The Scottish Yarn Festival DK is a fun one. And that color palette is just, it's like my favorite. Would all go really well together. There's also Moda from Wool Dreamers and the Tukuwool DK. Those would all be really fun. I was also thinking about how mine's a little bit closer to worsted weight, and how the Marie Wallen Aran weight, which is an American worsted weight, would be really beautiful in this sweater. There's one of the test knits for this sweater, and we'll put a picture here, has a really beautiful color palette that I think you could find comparable colors for in the new Marie Wallen Aran. And this project, Marie's own designs are gorgeous, but this project being in the round and just sort of a little bit less difficult to match colors up, because I think there's only 5 in this. you could definitely play with your own palette of the Marie Wallin in a way that maybe with her own designs, sticking with the original color palette sounds a little bit more tempting. I also was thinking about how in this sweater, I didn't have quite, so this was kind of a stash busting sweater, and I didn't have quite the final color that I wanted from my worsted or DK weight yarns. So what I did is I actually found 2 fingering weight colors in my stash, and they were a little bit different from each other, and I combined them to make that final color that I wanted. It's the kind of, I guess I'd call it pukey green. It was sort of a olive green and sort of a pukey gold, and I held them together. I don't know if I can get close enough for you to see. There's actually 2 colors in here. So that was just kind of an extra tip I had when you're trying to pull colors together for a project. Maybe think outside of the called for yarn weight and think if there's maybe 2 fingering weights that you could combine to make sort of a DK or worsted weight. A lot of times you can also get away with fingering weight plus a mohair. I think even just one of the colors in here, if it had some mohair, could add some fun texture. So get the other yarn weights out and see if you can combine those to get the weight of yarn that you're looking for in your sweater. Could open up the color combinations a lot more for you. I think that was everything I had about this sweater. It's been a while since I wore it on here. Next, I'll show you this little finished object that I have. Last time I was on the Shopcast, this was just cast on, and it's been finished for a while now, actually. Teeny tiny baby sweater for a friend of mine who just had a little one. And this is from, the pattern is from the Strange Brew book by Tin Can Knits. That's out of print, but available as an ebook. So you can still access this amazing book of newborn all the way through like 3XL sizes of sweaters. There's sort of a build your own way of learning how to plug charts into different parts of the yoke so you can make your own design, which is what I did here. I use Jagger Spun Moose and Falls for this sweater. It's a superwash yarn, and actually not going to be available much longer since the mill's unfortunately closing. But I held it double for more of a DK weight gauge for this sweater, and it's being a baby sweater, and for a non-knitter friend, I wanted something that was going to be low maintenance, not too scary to wash. So yeah, I think that's fun how that turned out. One little decision I made was I wanted to do this zigzag pattern on the sleeves as well to finish it off, but I remembered from one of my son's sweaters I made, the fingers get caught in the floats, even if you catch them pretty well. And this tiny of circumference just kind of tends to be a little annoying in color work, so just went for the straight across the sleeve there. So that's my FO for the last month, and I've still got my 2 boys' sweaters in progress, so I don't have much to show there. But I did cast on another project this month. I needed something to take with me to Rhinebeck, to the New York State Sheep and Wool Festival and the trip, and knew that I'd be social knitting in the evenings with the Woolly Thistle group. So cast on something that I've had in my pile of yarn waiting to become something for a while, and I've just kind of been zooming along on it since Rhinebeck to get to sort of a fun point in the project. So this is the contrast sweater by Petite Knit. Never made one of her patterns before. This is an older one, and it turned out to be a little tricky on my trip. I didn't quite get to the point where I didn't have to count and stuff. The shoulders are this sort of contiguous method where you're sort of increasing on the shoulder for a while, and then you start increasing on the sleeve for a while. You finish with a tiny bit of raglan increases in the underarm. And I had hoped to get through the trickiest, short rows around the back of the neck and stuff before I went on the trip, but that didn't happen. So there may be a few little fudges of numbers, but I think I got to a point where it's close enough to the numbers it needs to be, and I don't think anyone's going to notice. Well, now if I point it out, then you will, but there's like I accidentally switched my stitch marker partway through these increases, so I've got a little like row that seems to start halfway through the shoulder saddle here. But anyway, for yarn here I'm using, actually it's again Jagger spun. It's the Heather's fingering weight, and again not probably going to be restocked at the Woolly Thistle unless we're lucky and getting some of the last from their warehouse. But you know, any of our fingering weight yarns in the shop would be really nice for this, depending on if you want it drapier or more lightweight. You know, go for a worsted spun for the drape and woolen spun for the kind of lightness. And it's held together with silk mohair. So I've got, actually it's the Rauma Plum, which is mohair with polyamide for the gray. And the fun thing about this sweater is it's mostly gray and mostly stockinette until you get down to about 2/3 through the body and the sleeves, and then it changes colors. And I'm actually sticking with close to the original colors. It's going to change to this gold. So I've got Jagger in the amber color, and then this is Biche Bouche because they had a nicer looking gold than the plum at the moment when I ordered this. So that's color yellow mustard. So that'll be a fun point to switch to that. Otherwise it's, yeah, just very simple. The neckline is going to be folded down to be sort of a folded regular length ribbed neck at the end. So I think that's everything I've got for you this month. So many other projects waiting in the wings and ready to be ordered, and I'm sure next month I'll come back with whole new things to talk about. So I hope you're enjoying your knitting season. Our gift knit along is going on, and yeah, happy making. Enjoy the rest of the Shopcast. Thanks.
Caitlin, thank you. That was a lovely segment as always. Sorry, we're a little distracted here because it's time to show you what is in this year's selection box, which, as frequent viewers will know, we release a selection box at this time of year every year, and in the spring we do a taster box.
Do you want to tell, in case people are new to us, why it's named a selection box? The
I'd love to.
Inspiration for the selection box.
Chocolate. So being a wee kid growing up in Scotland, Christmas time was often about chocolate. And you would get selection boxes, which would be, you know, the Cadbury's selection box, and it would include, you know, the dairy milk and the crunchy and the this and the that and the next. And it was always a highlight of Christmas time that you would get a selection box. So,
and they were full-size bars.
They were full-size bars, and I don't know if they still are. I actually think you can get chocolate from Scotland. I have gotten the tins of Quality Street, which my husband or my ex always called Low Quality Street. But I don't care. I love them. Or Roses. You know, there's all kinds of chocolate to be had at Christmas time in Scotland. Anyway, that's where the selection box name came from, because it's not chocolate, but it is the next best thing, which is lots of gorgeous special yarn. So are you ready to see what's in this year? So let's have a look. So first of all, the thing to notice is the size of the box. Mm-hmm. I've opened mine because it's hard to open once it's shut, because it's going to ship to you in this box. And yeah, so let's have a wee looky here. So I'm going to open this up. And there's not just yarn in here, there's other goodies too, which is just phenomenal. So I'm going to open it up, and Maggie, you've got one too. Yeah. First thing on top I see are some die-cut stickers of the Woolly Thistle, which is always fun. This has become a bit of a tradition where we have Hannah Longmuir's calendar for next year. She is a Scottish artist, and she's doing beautiful drawings, and we get asked about these every year, so they have to go in the box.
Ducklings.
I know. And look, I mean,
which is great.
Even making dandelions, that looks like a little hand holding them. Yeah, so we have got this, and you can see the pictures of every month there. We have a new vendor in that we have beautiful teakowls going in, and there'll be a variety of images.
Yes.
And this is from Jenny Blue, who is in Maine. just gorgeous. And these tea towels are really nice quality. This is Jenny's own art that she puts on these tea towels, and we are thrilled to be including them in our box.
So there are a few different patterns. Your box will come with the pattern that we pick for you.
That's true of all the boxes. So the colors and everything, you trust us to put together a box beautiful for you. But you will know what the different products are, what the yarn is, what the extras are. But we will choose the colors and put them together. That's the best way to do it.
Yeah, so the box that Corinne has now is slightly different in colorways than the box that I have.
Which is why we might as well show both of them. And of course, there's going to be other choices as well.
Yeah.
But we're giving you a representation of these two. This is a beautiful organic lavender sachet. The whole shop has been smelling of lavender since these got here. So we put these in little plastic bags, and you can't smell them.
You can still smell it a tiny bit.
A tiny bit, but nothing
but
like.
not as much.
And of course, you know that lavender is a natural moth deterrent, which is nice. Oh, right. So now we've gotten to the meat and potatoes of this, which is a big box full of yarn. There you go, Maggie. First up, we've got Lettlopi, which is... did I say it right?
Well, I think we've been told it's Lettlopi.
But it's
We've been saying Lettlopi around the shop, but we've been told that the accurate way is Lettlopi.
Lettlopi.
I think Lettlopi is much more fun.
Lettlopi, yes. So we have lots of different colors in this, but you will get 2 balls, and this is their brand new DK weight. So hot off the mill, brand new, and really lovely. Oh, and look at veg matter.
Yeah.
We never
This
ever.
one has it too. So you will get 2 balls in the same color.
Yes, and Maggie, there'll be a pattern suggestion card as always. And
each box comes with a printed pattern suggestion card to give you ideas of a mix of free and paid for patterns.
So that you can get knitting immediately on receiving your box.
And certainly you can knit whatever you want with it.
Yeah.
I've seen quite a few people mix and match and use yarns together over the years with their boxes. Yeah. And it's inspirational.
And of course, harken back to Renee's segment where she was talking about what she's knit with her. Did you see her pressed flowers? Beautiful.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Okay.
She would have added a few skeins to do that. But you can do that. That's amazing.
Beautiful though. Just gorgeous. We've included one of our favorite yarns here, which is Cautiva by Wool Dreamers. And it is a sport weight yarn, and you get 2 balls. So you get 100 grams of 2 different colors for you to do some color work perhaps. I love this yarn. You love this yarn too, Maggie.
It's really, I love all their yarns. They're really woolly and wonderful, and their mission is one that
we can
just really resonates.
Yeah. They are rejuvenating the Spanish wool industry almost single-handedly over there.
Yeah.
Other beautiful yarn. This is so soft. This is Bichet Bouche from France, and it's Le Petit Lamb's wool, and it feels extremely soft. This is actually made in Scotland, but it's a French company, and you get 2 skeins of this. This must be, are these 50 grams? Yes.
Yeah.
So it's 100 grams of the same color. I love that color green. Oh,
all their colorways are so good, and you'll see veg matter. You'll see too. A lot of their colorways have they're slightly heathered. Like when you look close up at the skein, there's some depth to each shade.
But for those of you hankering for a really soft hand, I think this is phenomenal. Yes. Okay. Ooh, special and new to us here at the Woolly Thistle. We haven't had this in the shop.
No.
This is by Rosa Pomar, and it's Beiroa. Am I saying that right?
I think so. I've been saying Beiroa.
Yeah. And it's made exclusively from the wool of Cerro de Estrela sheep, a Portuguese native breed found in the Sierra do Estrela region. I'm not a Spanish speaker, apologies.
Yeah.
But made in Portugal, and just very lovely and special.
Yeah. We love working with Retrosaria. They're a wonderful company, and they are doing similar work to Wool Dreamers for the sheep and farmers in Portugal.
Yep.
Just wonderful.
And they have phenomenal labels too.
Yeah.
Love this.
So, and this is a light worsted weight yarn.
And it looks like a single ply. It's soft too. This would make a great hat.
Yeah. Seeing some of the projects that are knit up with it, you can see that some of the skeins have like a little bit of heathering.
Yeah.
Dispersed throughout the skein. I think it's just
Very
going to be a lot of fun to knit with.
I think minimally processed. Yes.
There are some crochet projects on their website with this yarn. They're just really, really gorgeous.
We have 3 more yarns to go, and you've already got all this. One of the yarns we're not going to show you today, we'll keep that for closer to the time, but it's very exciting. It is from Scotland. It's a hugely historical yarn. It's been around since not long after the French Revolution, meaning the mill that it's spun at, and it's a great addition to the box here. So think on, what could that be? Very special, of course, whoops, to us here is Black Isle yarn, which is wonderful, working with Julie again.
Oh, she's delightful.
She really is. And you know, when we work with Julie to put one of her yarns in a box, it's all of her yarn pretty much, because she is a lovely small producer, and so the wool that goes into her yarns are very local. Like the farms is I have trouble saying
I was
that.
gonna give you
Croft and Western Brelangwell, and this is from 2324. It's a fingering weight, and it has about 270 meters per 100 grams, and it's lovely.
Yeah.
What's in it?
It's a 75% Jacob and a 25% Jacob Gotland cross.
Yeah.
Which I'm pretty sure that means there was a fence jumper somewhere.
It's that close to the sheep, really.
Yeah.
And yeah, sometimes.
And the name of this one, I don't know if you know how to say that.
Well, I think it's
a Gaelic word. Yeah.
Gaelic in Scotland, Gaelic's Irish. Just for the record.
Oh.
Yeah, but
My
no, I don't know how to say it because I'm not a speaker.
So it's, we can put it here. It looks
brech, something like that.
Yeah, but it means speckled in Gaelic.
And it's grown in the Highlands and spun in the Borders, so made 100% in Scotland, which we love.
Yeah,
and thank you, Julie.
Yeah, so each box will come with one skein there. She also has a note about the weight of the yarn, that it is knit as a fingering, possibly a sport weight, but because of the density of the wool, that she's got some notes on the side.
Which is lovely. That's what you get, that sort of attention to detail. Oh, and a little veg matter. You know, in case you don't know, we absolutely celebrate and love getting little bits of grass or hay in our skeins of yarn, because that is like a little traveler with the wool from where it was grown.
Yeah.
And we never ever worry about that. We love it.
It's just a beautiful color.
This box has a little bit of Spain and Portugal and Scotland, and now Finland, because we have Tukuwool DK here, and you get one nice big 100-gram skein of their DK weight. This wool is gorgeous too. It's another woolen spun, and it's from the Finn sheep, which are lovely, soft woolly sheep, quite similar, maybe similar in end product to Shetland. You know, it's got a nice soft hand, but the Finn sheep is actually quite a bit bigger than your Shetland. And
Shetlands are pretty small.
They are. They're from that North Atlantic short breed, primitive breed. Whereas Finns, they will have litters of babies, and they're really good mums, and they have beautiful wool too. So this comes from Finland.
Beautiful
and
color.
Finn sheep. Yeah. And Maggie, I think that's everything. That's a lot of yarn and a lot of beautiful and handmade and local to us extras, including this gorgeous tea towel. So we hope that you're excited. There's a lot of Scotland, a lot of Europe, a lot of local, all going into this, and all very knittable wool. Love it. So these are going on sale. When are these going on sale? I don't have my notes handy. Oh, and there's also stitch markers. We missed that. So all details about the selection box can be found, of course, on our website, which is thewoollythistle.com. 2 L's in woolly. It's the British way. And then we are asking that you sign up for early access if you're interested in the box, because it sells out usually during early access, so there's no point waiting. If you're interested, definitely do your thinking and soul searching now, so that you're on the list and you will know when it goes on sale. So it will go on sale on Wednesday, midday, November 13th. And that's when those with early access can go and shop. And then if we have any left, it will go on sale on Friday, which is the 15th. And you'll know about that from the newsletter. So yeah, please do sign up if you're interested in this. These do go pretty fast, and we're absolutely thrilled with the selection. Good work, Maggie. Maggie has a huge part in pulling this all together, and you really do knock it out the park. I love everything in here.
It's a lot of fun going through the shop and talking to producers. And, we appreciate their cooperation and participation in the box.
Yes, and being able to do as many as we need. And don't forget, there is one yarn we haven't shown you that is very Scottish and very special and brand new to us. So nice surprise there, and we will show you that before the box goes on sale.
Yes, we'll reveal it on the 12th. So
on the 12th, the day before, yes. So,
Mm-hmm.
but that won't be on a Shopcast. I think you should be on our newsletter. If you're not on our newsletter, definitely sign up for that too, because we will be talking about it in there as well.
Yes.
All right. So, Maggie, we have a new hat from Gudrun Johnston, I believe.
Yes. We have a new hat from Gudrun Johnston and Simply Shetland. It is the Yolmori hat.
It's gorgeous.
That is this year. Last year, some of you might remember they released their Shetland Solstice hat in a beautiful little kit.
Yeah.
There we go. I love the graphic on this bag this year.
Yep.
And each bag comes with all the yarn that you need to knit. And I believe she said you can knit, there's a beret and there's a tam. And with the yarn in the kit, you can knit both.
So I
have to switch the colors around.
It's a beanie or a tam. A beanie or a tam, not a beret.
Oh.
A beret is a kind of tam.
Gotcha.
So, yes. So
well, you have to listen to what I mean.
I love it.
So all these colors are
I
so
love
beautiful.
these colors.
Yeah,
and
they're great.
Of course Jill is already cast on and knitting
she's
away.
already working on hers.
Is she, do you know if she's doing the tam or the beanie? I don't know.
I don't remember.
So I love a good tam. That's a very Scottish sort of hat. It is like a beret. And then the beanie, of course, is ubiquitous and can be worn by anyone. It's lovely. So well done. Congratulations on that, Gudrun.
These kits are available in the shop now.
Yes, and they've been selling really fast already since they launched.
They come with the postcard, which gives you access to the pattern. So you get everything that you need minus the needles.
Yeah.
And
it comes in this lovely little tote, which is nice. Little drawstring.
Little drawstring. It's so great.
Yeah, and it's called the Yolmori. I'm sure. There's so much that I'm mispronouncing this time. This time, maybe all the time. We've had a Studio Donegal restock of Darnie.
And we have some new colors, new to us colors in Darnie. These are all really, really, here you go. There's your pink, right?
Look, it's got orange flecks and purple flecks in it. Oh, the first time
I think this would make an amazing vanilla sweater.
Stop it. Yes, it would.
Yeah, I think it really would. I've been eyeballing their red one for like forever.
Oh, it's lovely.
I'm going to end up with like all red and
blue
sweaters.
So you guys have inspired us to carry this line, but the other line people want us to get is Darnie Soft.
Donegal Soft.
Donegal Soft, not Darnie. Studio Donegal Soft. So we're looking into that as well.
Yeah.
This, of course, comes from Ireland. Oh my God, these colors,
they're
purple.
So good. The tweedy bits and the heathering is just so good. And this one has like bits of pink. I don't know if you can see that.
I think this and this go together.
Oh, yeah.
Very well. Yeah. Gorgeous. Yeah, this would make a nice
along with all the other shades, have been recently restocked.
Yes. As well as, and we do have the Irish Heathers as well, which is a great Aran white sweater. Yeah. Typed yarn.
Really, really fun.
What do you have there?
We have new stitch stoppers in the shop.
The stitch stoppers! Oh my goodness.
I don't know if you saw. I've been knitting. I've had these on. I love the little pandas. Yeah. I heard the pandas got discontinued. So.
Stop.
I know, but there are so many cute ones. Little
there
foxes
There's
and
little
llamas.
Goats,
but if you're not
Highland
into
coos.
cute little animals, I don't know why you wouldn't be. But if you're not, we got these. I don't know if you can see that.
They're kind of
They're like hexagonal shapes.
Oh, I love.
I know. They're really, really cute. And they've got different printed patterns on them. Kind of gotta... They're really, really nice.
They look like candy.
These do, don't let your children eat these.
No.
But really, really cute.
Fantastic.
And they really do hold your stitches on your needles. And they're really adorable.
They're called stitch stoppers, and that's how you find them in the shop.
They do.
Okay, good. So let's talk about books. We have a nice sort of selection of books that are not long in.
Yeah, some are restocked and some are brand new to the shop here. So Restock Knit This. You guys have been loving this book. It's a really popular book every time we bring it in.
It's gorgeous. good reason. It's a lovely hardcover, and lots and lots of beautiful patterns.
Yeah.
Look at this.
I know.
I love that texture. I really want to do some lace yoking here. There it is in the full. Right, so this book is doing very well. This is a gorgeous one.
Oh, cute kitty.
Yeah.
And also from the same publisher is the Lakeside Stitches. This is fully restocked right now as well. Lots of color work in here. Classic knits.
Lovely. Another hardback.
Yeah.
This is Yoga of Yarn. Did I say that right? This is Yoga of Yarn, and this is a great book. It says a knitter's handbook for self-discovery. There's a lot of yoga instructions in here, and I think inspiration for looking after yourself. So I think this is a good companion for our videos by Kim. But Lisa is the author of this, and I actually met Lisa a year or two ago when I was at my weaving retreat at Harrisville. She was there, and I got to hear all about this book, and I'm thrilled to have it in the shop. That's a restock. We've had that before.
Moosh and Friends. This book continues to do really, really well, and why wouldn't it? Because look how adorable that gang is. Oh my gosh.
Do we have any new animals coming to our kit?
We've been working on it. With you and I working in fulfillment, some things are a little slower so that you're all continuing to get your packages in time. Thank you very much.
We're still doing that.
We're still doing that. If you'd like any help putting together yarn for any of the animals, just shoot us an email and Jill will get back to you right away.
So yeah, we actually do have some really promising interviews coming up for that position. But as of now, Corinne and Maggie, we do all the things with the team, not just us.
So but we have lots of yarns that are great for all of these animals. If you need any help, you can email us at info@thewoollythistle.
And of course we have my Fair Isle Journey, which Maggie, you're knitting your lovely sweater in.
I'm knitting the NOS sweater.
I want to knit this.
I know. Every pattern in this book is so beautiful.
This is a lovely cardigan that really is calling my name.
Yeah.
I brought this book home because I love it.
Yeah. I love that
vest. Gorgeous.
There's a vest in there too that uses lots of greens in the sample.
Ooh, and
that one. Oh my gosh. I love it.
I love the styling as well. God, if I could get away with a full-on suit like that.
You could.
I do have the jacket. I need the trews.
Yeah.
Even bags. Gorgeous.
I think the bags would be really fun for swatching before you did the whole vest or even the hat.
I love this too.
Yeah, so good.
Yeah. Wait, let me find that green vest because I kind of, there we go. Look at that.
Oh, so beautiful.
Beautiful.
Those are back in stock as well. This is a great book, In the Footsteps of Sheep.
My favorite.
So good.
It's so good. This is about Debbie Zwingsky. Did I say that right? And she walked around Scotland collecting little hinty leggets, tufts of wool, cotton thistles, and, fence posts.
Yeah.
And she would walk and spin, and then she knitted socks with them.
So good.
And the patterns are in this book along with yarn suggestions, so you don't have to actually collect your own bits of yarn, but you could if you wanted to.
Yeah.
And of course, taking you through beautiful Scotland. Look at the sheep there on the beach. Not unheard of at all. Yeah, just lovely. And she camped her way around. So just a great travelogue as much as anything. Love it. Okay. Ooh.
These are really good. So we have a few brand new to the shop that should be available now. 100 knitted tiles. I think this book just looks so good.
Fun. Ooh,
so good. So, for any of us that really like, they're just so good. Different tiles that you can use.
Yeah, so there's color work, there's texture, there's the lace.
I can't look at that texture.
Yeah.
So good.
Yeah. Whoops. And so you could, obviously you could use them to make a blanket or something, but it's more a swatching guide, is it? Look at this one.
Yeah, swatching guide. And I think the book also gives you how to use the book.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just really like them.
From the author and creator of the Latvian mitten kits, which I'm just looking at over there, is her new book, Latvian Mittens. And oh my gosh, is this gorgeous? This is gorgeous.
Yes, this is the big book of Latvian mittens.
Yeah. So, lots of patterns.
Yeah.
This one we have the kit for, actually, if we still have it in stock. So I'm trying not to show you the actual patterns.
Yeah, an actual chart.
Yeah, little dots, this one's called. So this book is just full of inspiration and the patterns for knitting your own Latvian mittens. And
if you do have her other Latvian mitten book, there is a little bit of pattern overlap in here, but you get so much more in this book.
And honestly, these are just great to flip through and get all that beautiful eye candy, as well as actually knitting from it.
Yeah.
And there's lots of history in these mittens too, which we love.
Yeah.
There's gloves.
Yeah, really gorgeous.
Yeah, so that is in now. So check it out.
I love this one. This one is a crochet book. It is the modern granny stitch crochet book, and there's lots of garments in here. You can see on the back.
Yeah. I just love that crochet's coming into its own as far as garments.
Yeah, there are so many really clever designs in this book that look really fun to make and easy to wear.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah, love it too. That's sort of a granny stripe.
Yeah. So for those of us that also love crochet.
There you go. This book is great.
This book is really great.
And the last one we have is the Mosaic Chart for, Directory for Knitting and Crochet. So, again, lots of different...
I love mosaic knitting. I've not tried mosaic crochet yet.
I have not done mosaic anything. I need to give it a go.
Yeah.
Because it looks... I mean, I love the finished look that you get.
Amy at Christophers has a cute little free kerchief pattern that you can download.
All right. I'm going to check that out. Yeah. But yeah, this is a great directory. Great for your library. So whether you're knitting or crocheting, I love that.
I love it.
All right.
And there's lots more on our bookshelf, but that is just
some of the new stuff.
Just some of the new stuff and some recently restocked.
Yeah. We have a desk here today, which I am thoroughly loving.
Yeah.
I feel a little bit like Saturday Night Live doing the news.
We're just not quite as funny.
At least not to everybody else. Oh, we crack each other up. Or I crack myself up. I crack you up. I don't know.
You do crack me up.
Yeah. So what else do we have?
Oh, there's also available on pre-order right now. There's a couple of different books on pre-order. We can put photos of them here, including the Journal of Scottish Yarn issue 6. This looks to be a really good one.
Yes.
That one
Cashmere.
releases November 15th, so secure your pre-order now.
Yep.
And I know we have a new book by Veronica Lindberg, Knits to Wear from Lina. And we can put a photo here.
Yes.
Both of these look really wonderful.
Yes. Is that it for books on pre-order?
I think that's it for books on pre-order by the time.
One more. 52 weeks of chunky knitting.
Yeah, I think that releases the day that
we'll have that in stock.
Our books are in transit, so if you've pre-ordered 52 weeks of chunky knits, as soon as it arrives, we will get them out to you.
We also wanted to share that there's a couple of really new designs just come out in yarns that we champion, and this is the Seaport Cardigan by Alice of Birch Tree Knits, and it's knitted in Scottish Yarn Festival.
So we had the good fortune of meeting Alice at Indie Untangled a couple weeks ago, and she was wearing her Seaport cardigan.
And
it was
beautiful.
Really, really wonderful.
Yeah. And actually, Tina, who works here, just finished her sweater. Do you know what it's called?
Is it finished?
She's wearing it. Can we go?
Oh my gosh, I saw Tina. Didn't even notice she's wearing it. All right, well, maybe we can get a photo of Tina.
Yeah, Tina's wearing hers, and it's in the DK, and it's soft and beautiful, and there's so much relief in the texture. So yes, we'll put a picture here.
Yeah, really wonderful.
And just being released now is, and I know I'm saying this wrong, but Jubin by Petite Knitter, and this is in Brusca, and we'll put a picture there. So we'll have kits for that one, I believe. We won't have kits for the Seaport cardigan. It's a single color, and you just need to buy your yarn.
Yeah.
And then the green leaf sweater by Jen Steingass is just out, and that's in La Petite Lamb's Wool. Absolutely gorgeous. So glad to see her working on releasing a new pattern.
Yeah, and we do have kits for that available in the shop.
Yes, and did I say that's in...
That's in Le Petit Lamb's Wool from Bichet Bouche.
Yes, and so we still have, just changing gears a little bit, we may still have 12 Days of Christmas boxes available when you see this. We're getting down to the last of them, and they will be shipping out the middle of the month as well.
We are in the home stretch of packing those boxes.
Oh my goodness, it's a lot of work, isn't it?
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Don't get me started.
Yeah. And then Studio Donegal blankets. We still have Studio Donegal blankets if you're interested in those. Those are 100% beautiful Irish wool heirloom quality, handmade from Ireland. Great for gift giving. I see that some of you, I think, are doing that by buying in multiples, but it's a great way to get people checked off your list.
We've heard from multiple people too where they bought one last year and they're like, I need another one.
So I got my Thistle one this year, and that's my third. So every year I have been collecting them, and they're on the back of the couch, and they're, you know, they're all over the house, and I just love them. I do love them.
Yeah.
Even my daughter, who is not knitworthy, will wrap up in one of those.
They're quite cozy. Yeah. And they will just get better with time. They will just, like, they come, I think that they're pretty soft. Like, they're woolly, but they're pretty soft and cozy.
Yeah.
And that wool will just wear so beautifully over time.
Yes. And I have a king size bed, and it doesn't obviously fit a king size, but a queen would fit quite nicely. But I have it draped over the bottom half of the bed, and it looks great. It looks lovely. Do you know what we haven't done, and the people are probably waiting? We haven't announced any winners.
Oh my goodness.
And it's the end of the show just about. So why don't we do both of them? And then we'll let Rachel from Fair Isle take us out. But let's announce a couple of winners. I've got them here, Maggie.
Okay, great. All right.
We're going definitely off. It's having the desk.
If you're still here for the winners, well, congratulations.
Yes, and thank you for being here.
Yes, thank you so much. So the first winner today of a $25 gift card to the Woolly Thistle is at Debbie Knowles 3145.
Hooray!
Yay! And Debbie said, glad to see you and the info from Rhinebeck. Thanks, Kelsey, for the coaster pattern. This is a great idea for hostess gifts. That is a great idea.
Yeah.
So Debbie, if you can email us at info@thewoollythistle, put prize winner in all caps, we will get you your $25 gift card.
Fantastic. Why don't you read the
and
next
our
one?
second winner today is at Lisa Cox 4323, and Lisa said, thank you for being my knitting group. Love the Shopcast and the Facebook group. I always learn so much, and I can go to Rhinebeck vicariously through you guys. We are happy to take you to Rhinebeck with us.
Yes, indeed, and thank you for watching. And you two are the winner. And what does she need to do?
Email us at info@thewoollythistle, put prize winner in all caps, and we will get you your gift card.
And if you'd like to be in the running for next time, all you need to do is leave a comment down below, give us a thumbs up, and subscribe to the channel. All of that helps the channel grow, and it is growing. We're getting there, and so thank you for that. We so appreciate all the support in all the different forms that it comes in. None of it isn't lost on us. We really appreciate you shopping with us, talking to your friends about us, watching the Shopcast, and liking things on Instagram. All the places, it all really helps.
And really, in order for us to keep doing what we do, we need you to keep doing what you do. Thank you so much.
Yes, thank you very, very much. And congratulations, winners. So I think we're going to have Rachel from Fair Isle take us out. She has a lovely postcard actually of her travels through the UK. She went all the way down south. Wow. So she brings us on that. So enjoy that. And then I think we're good to go.
I think we're good.
I think all that's left to say, Maggie, is if you go out,
take your knitting.
Bye-bye.
Hello Woolly Thistlers, it's Rachel from Barkland Croft here in Fair Isle, and it's lovely to be back with you. You may know that in September I was away on my research trip, travelling throughout Scotland and England and looking at items of Fair Isle knitwear held in museums and collections, and what a super time I had. Here's just a taste of some of the many things I was able to look at. And although not everything was from Fair Isle, it was super to find quite a lot of examples that did have the Fair Isle label in them. And a real treat was when I was in Shetland on my last day at the museum and archives there, I met Corinne Olsen, who you may know who wrote this book. I visited the BBC Scotland props and costume department. No Fair Isle, but fantastic licorice allsort and pussycat jumpers. For I think the first time ever I got to sail past Fair Isle in daylight, and after another ferry we got over to North Uist, where I was taking my fleeces to the mill. So they're now there ready to be spun into next year's wool, which I'm really excited about. As well as research, I crammed so much into my trip. Ruthven Barracks, walks alongside Loch Lomond, a sundress in Edinburgh because it was so warm, Ruffalo relaxing, Nieva enjoying herself. We rode a steam train, Nieva explored castles. She met the Gruffalo. We went on canal walks and made it as far as the south coast of England. We saw the Seven Sisters. Here's a bit of a better photo of them. This is Boxgrove Church, which has a lovely stained glass memorial to Billy Fisk, who was the first American to be killed in World War II. And it's really lovely to see that his grave is still remembered. One morning we did a 5-mile walk before breakfast, which took us through this beautiful hollow way and all the way up to Hanukkah Windmill. We visited Dartmoor, where the ponies and cows roam freely. We climbed up Tors, spotted a lizard, and Nieva investigated this clapper bridge. There were more sundressers and picnics. I visited the German military cemetery and found the grave of 2 of the aircrew who'd been shot down here in World War II in Fair Isle. They'd been buried here and then were later reburied in this cemetery, so I took them a little sprig of heather wrapped up in some of my sheep's wool. I visited York, where the Minster bells were in full peal. And walked down the famous Shambles and Whipma Wopma Gate. I visited Sewerby Park to see the lion, which was always a treat when I was growing up. Nieva and I took another little land train journey into Bridlington to see the Gansey girl and admire her knitting. I enjoyed a very wet and foggy, although rather atmospheric, walk around Whitby Abbey. And then up to Orkney to see Skara Brae. We had fantastic weather and Nieva absolutely loved it up there. She definitely tired herself out running round the beach. Ruffalo, meanwhile, rolled around in the car park. We visited the beautiful Italian chapel, which was created by Italian prisoners of war in World War II. The Ring of Brodgar, Stones of Stennis, Midhow Brock, and several cairns that you had to climb down into to explore, which was a bit creepy. The very last day of our trip we explored St Magnus Cathedral in Orkney and found this lovely ram carving, and I'm not really sure what this is, but very suitable for Halloween. We arrived back in Shetland and let's just say the weather wasn't quite so summery. It was lovely to meet Sandy's 2 lambs, and they were very interested in Nieva, who I think they thought was another lamb, until they realised she wasn't. And it was really back down to earth with a bang after our wonderful trip when all the rain and gales started. And you can just see here the extent of the flooding that we had one day. Thankfully everyone was fine, there wasn't any real damage done, the sheep were fine, but after a month of pretty much good weather all the time, summer dresses, heat, coming back to this was a bit of a shock to the system, as you can imagine. I had sheep trapped in one field. And you can just see everywhere it was just absolutely waterlogged. I've never ever seen Gillyburn so full or flowing so quickly. That's the over the vehicle bridge up to the top park. You can't quite see, but I've got some sheep stranded up there because there's no way for them to get back over the burn. It's too wide for them to jump. That's normally, well, it's underwater so you can't see it, but that's normally where I walk across and the sheep walk across if they're not jumping. Just water, water everywhere. Then we were in for a real treat as the winds were forecast up to 110 miles an hour. But a couple of days later we were back to this. I enjoyed catching up on the Woolly Thistle podcasts and have started a new knitting project. And here we are on Halloween. Although I have to say I think the scariest thing is probably my face as I went out this morning to check the sheep in rain and gales. And I'll leave you with Nieva wishing you all a very happy Halloween, and we'll see you again soon.